Oh, sorry. My end toward me, toward forward.
Okay.
Yep. And then we could, yeah, that's good. Okay, I've got my BRT red on it. Two options, Roger. If you can reach the red, you can remove it now. Otherwise, let's bring it out another foot or so, and I'll take it off.
I can't get to this on the other side of the bag for me, so I can bring it out more.
Bring it out more. Okay, airlock red's removed and coming back.
All right, I saw it come back. Good retraction.
Okay, Roger. Now I'm going to reposition myself a little bit, but I've got the bag in my hand.
Take your time.
And I'm going to work on getting it on my BRT here. Still sort of in the hatch. I've got it on my BRT, so I'm going to pull it the rest of the way out.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Nice job working together, you two, to get EV3 out of the hatch there. And Roger, I heard you grab. Yeah, I heard that you grabbed your waist tether off that D-ring extender. So the next thing you're going to do is wait for Kayla to give you a go to egress, and then retrieve crew lock bag 1.
Copy. Yep, and I've got crew lock bag 1 already on my BRT ret, and I'm working on stowing the small end of the large swallow that was stowed onto the airlock D-ring extender. And while you're still on set, I'll see if I can get the strap bag down to this.
Yeah. I'm going to change the orientation on my BRT in the jaws just because it doesn't quite want to stay where I want it. And work on getting it off to my side.
Okay, if I come out partway with my legs,
yep, you're go to come out, Roger. Big bag.
Okay, and I have the small ret that was holding the strap bag that's also attached to the airlock D-ring extender for when you come back.
Okay. And Roger, on your way out, there's a depress, repress cue card that's kind of thrown behind the hatch. You have to turn around. I don't know if you're able to, yaw around. It could come out to your waist.
I think I see it.
Yeah, if you could feed that back in, probably shouldn't have even had it out. If not, we can get it at the end of the UVA, but probably be good to tuck it back in. And the sun's coming out, Roger, if you want to put your visor down.
Okay, thanks.
I'm going to increase my cooling a little bit.
Okay, that repress card is back behind the hatch.
Thank you, sir.
EV1, EV2, or 15 seconds to a handover.
Roger.
And we're currently in a brief handover between satellites, which you're currently seeing International Space Station Flight Control Room.
Right here. I'll move away from you. crew card, or depress card floater out again, but we can, okay. Should be untangled now to toss back up in there.
And I'm trying to get my coolant where I want it. I'm a little bit too far on it.
So I'm going to my crew lock bag set up. Wait for the crew lock bag to come back.
And Chari is now out of the hatch. Baron EV1, or extravehicular crew member 1,
No problem.
is wearing the suit with the red stripes. Chari is EV2, and he's wearing the suit with no stripes. Another way to keep track of the crew members today will be by their helmet cams. Baron has helmet cam number 22, and Chari has helmet cam number 16.
Got the crew lock bag.
Hey, great to see it online, Mark.
So let me know when you feel like you're ready for buddy checks, Raja, and Ike, let us know if you're back with us.
Yep, I'm with you. And once, Raja, when you're done with the bag and you have a free finger, you can turn on your HECA.
Copy.
Ike,
And
the
Kayla.
thermal cover is closed.
Copy. Thermal cover closed. Thank you. And let's see. Can you verify the stiffener D-ring strap is not over the magnet?
It is not.
Okay. And you've got that long wire tie there if you need to use that free end of the hook around the soft goods handle. And just let us know. And if you guys remember where you tucked that cue card, we'll take that so we can remind you on the way back in to make sure it's still stowed.
It's just behind the thermal cover at the moment. It's tethered. It's just kind of in the way of the hatch actuating. Just need to tuck it in.
Copy. Thank you for that.
All right, ready for buddy checks if you are.
All right, Raja. I see green echo light. I don't see your WBS light, however. So the white button on your EMU TV.
They're going out before.
See, it's on now.
Done, okay.
Your helmet lights are on. You've got 3 tabs up, 2 main workstation, 1 DRT. Both of your safer handles are down. And you've got the crew lock bag on your BRT. That looks really like a good position. And I think you got good eyes on your safety tether. Looks like you're in a good config there.
Copy.
And my baseline half check, half is dry.
Copy. And for you, I see 1, 2 TV lights on, HECA and TV. Both your lights are on. Just one of each if you want the flags for later. 1, 2, yaw your body. That's good. Okay, 3 tabs up. And 1. Safer handles down.
Okay.
And the strap bag looks good. It's a little tilted towards your head, but I think that's fine. And then wider at your feet, but it looks like a good stable position, tucked in close behind your arm.
Yeah, I see it in your reflection. I think I'm okay with how that is.
Yeah, I think that's probably better. If that's a little tighter in by your head, so it doesn't snag anything.
Okay.
And Raja, we'll
start translating if you are.
We'll take a buddy, a baseline half check from you.
Dry. Yep, tap is dry. And gloves look good.
Okay, copy that. Nice job, you two. And Kayla, that's a big bag with a long moment arm, so, it's only going to stay put for so long, so don't fight too hard trying to keep that where it is. And if you two are ready to translate, you, Kayla, are going to the S3, S4 interface inboard of the Sarge, and you will be leading. Raja, you will follow, translating to the starboard seated cart.
Copy.
Arming up the toolboxes.
And Kayla, we'd like you to fair lead at the base of the CETA spur.
I copy that. Going to take it nice and slow with this zigzag.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, Kayla. Slow and steady wins the race. Perfect. And I've got a couple cautions I'll read to you all. Avoid contact with the radiators and flex hoses. It'll probably be obvious and self-correcting, but translate slowly, especially with the strut bag on the BRT, and avoid inadvertent contact with the deployed test cables.
I've got that fair lead in, and I'm heading up to put in my adjustable fair lead.
Copy, and that'll be at S0 handrail 3410 for EV1. And EV2, you're going to do an adjustable at 3409.
I see 3410. I'll stop here to get that adjustable down. I've got my adjustable fair lead on 3410. Roger, you have a go to start translating up, and I'll kind of keep an eye on you as you come by the toolboxes, and then I'll continue.
Okay, I'm coming up the wagon wheel. I can see your tether.
Good, Roger. I'm going to continue up to the cedar rail. Stay out of your way.
Copy. I'll hold to the base of the cedar rail until you're at the top.
Okay, I'm at the cedar rail. I'm going to start slowly heading outboard, Roger.
That's correct, Kayla. You're heading to the S3, S4 interface, and we've got a green hook location just inboard of the Sarge when you get there. Near mile marker 5250.
Okay.
I'm 3409, which is where I'm putting down my adjustable tether.
Thank you, Roger.
Baron and Chari are currently translating to the Starboard Truss S4 worksite, where they will install a solar array modification kit.
The starboard CETA cart, or correction port CETA cart, and rotate in underneath it.
Nice job. You're looking good. That strut bag is flying formation with you.
Adjustable down at 3409.
Thanks, Roger. And you're heading to the starboard CETA cart to stow the crew lock bag.
And I'm starting under the MT. I got good visibility on the bag, and it's clear.
Up to see the handrail starting to go starboard.
I'm at the starboard CETA cart.
We're currently seeing live views from Helmet Cam 16, which is EV2 Raja Chari's cam, as he translates to the S4 truss.
Back on the cedar rail, past the starboard cedar cart. Ike, I'm approaching the spot where I'm going to head nadir for green hook.
Copy that. Yet just inboard of the Sarge, you're looking for S3 handrail 3060, and yours will be the more nadir of the two vertical handrails there on the nadir side of the Sarge.
All right, RC 3060.
That is your green hook location.
And I think I'm caught up on something, so I'm just going to take a look at my tethers. I got it clear.
I'm under the, cut it up on the MT.
My green hook is on 3060.
All right, nice job. And now you're going to translate to the 3 Alpha IEA, non-radiator side. So please check your gauntlets in place prior to crossing the Sarge.
Gauntlets are in place.
Sounds good. You're heading out to the IEA to stow that strut bag.
Baron is
With 01 on the port, or sorry, starboard sea cart. I'll get tethered here and get rid of the crew lock bag on the top of this.
Hey, firm, and just let us know what square grid you drop the crew lock bag on.
All right, I made it to IEA, and I'm heading further outboard.
Hey, firm, station forward and outboard. And you're looking for handrails 2207 or 2206, and then we'll stow the strut bag.
All right, I have them in sight.
Like the crew lock bags on grid C.
Thanks, Roger. Grid Charlie. Now you can retrieve the WIFX and APFR with the ingress aid from WIF 1.
Copy.
And you're going to stow those on your BRT. And Kayla, it looks like you're close to your position, so when you find those handrails, the way you want to orient the bag, the strut bag handrail goes toward the radiator, or if you can just see the way the lid opens, you want the lid to open toward the center of the IEA or toward the radiators.
You just heard Barron confirm the strut bag being stowed at the IEA, or the Integrated Electronics Assembly.
And Kayla, I believe also that means that the tape on the handrail will point toward the mass canister.
See that? Working on the necessary rotation now. Got it in a good orientation, so we'll work on getting it cleared.
Yeah, that looks good. And I think 2207 and 2206 should be right in front of you.
Another BRT rent to the APFR, which is locked on the with X, and the with X is in by BRT with the gate closed.
Okay, copy that, Roger. And now you're going to translate to the starboard Sarge. And you're going to also, near Kayla's green hook, you're going to drop your green hook just zenith of hers on handrail 3061.
Copy, 3061.
And we currently see Raja.
One of the corner adjustables down. I'll work on the other one.
Copy, adjustable on one corner.
We currently have views as Rajachari translates back to the worksite after retrieving APFR, or the articulating portable foot restraint.
Now that the bag is independently.
Copy.
Okay, well, I can see my tether on top of yours is planned, so that looks good so far out to the start at least.
Yeah.
And Roger, I see you're approaching the Sarge there, just zenith of Kayla's hand green hook. You're looking for 3061. 3061.
Tally 3061. That's not my green hook here. It work.
I've got two corners down, and what I'm going to do is open the lid and then probably tie back with one of the lid adjustables.
Okay, copy. Nice work, Kayla. If you also could, when you have a free hand, check your HECA on.
Okay. Got a green HECA light.
Copy. Thank you for the HECA light. And Roger, just confirm your gauntlets are in place after your green hook. You're going to translate to the 3 Alpha IEA as well on the radiator side, station aft.
Copy, my gauntlets are down. I'm just getting ready to go across the Sarge.
we've got a great camera view of both of you, and Raja, you're just going to head over over the Zenith side of the IEA station aft.
On.
I think my tether just caught underneath there.
All right, I'm happy with the bag for now. I think I'll maybe tighten actually the outboard strap real quick, and then the mounting bracket has very kindly presented itself.
Yeah, it's ready to get to work, huh? Okay, nice job with the bag, and also I have a reminder here that you can turn on and stow the GoPro, and just let us know where you place it.
It's on, and I'm just going to leave it tethered to the bag.
Copy. Thank you.
I think I'm going to take a second to put down my BRT, get a little more stability here. Get that mounting bracket back over here.
Okay, and I've got my eyes on WIF 26, which is my destination.
Affirm, yes. And when you get to WIF 26, you want to install the WIF-X, and you will clock it to 6. I'll remind you again when you get there and give you the rest of the settings when you're ready.
Like, I've got the mounting bracket, and I'm going to start going for the upper right strip.
Okay, so before you start on that, we would like a glove, hat, and gauntlet check, and then we'll get into the upper triangle.
Okay, that's in work. I'll check my gloves now.
If you're just joining us, we're bringing you live coverage today of the 247th spacewalk in support of International Space Station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. NASA astronauts Kayla Barron and Raja Chari have begun a spacewalk to assemble and install brackets and strut kits for an upcoming solar array upgrades.
In place. All right, so yes, we are going to start on the upper triangle build, and you said you have the mounting bracket, and yep, it's going to be the right upper strut from bag straps 1 and 2. Those are in the upper left corner, as you're seeing them.
The duo exited the airlock this morning, starting the EVA at 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 a.m. Eastern Time, and now have translated to the starboard truss to the S4 worksite. Marion and Tari are now taking struts and brackets out of their stowage space and will begin the build out for the mount. The main focus will be on the installation of a 3A modification kit, but then they will then go to the S6 truss to tie back multi-layer insulation for spare battery charge discharge units.
Pitch knob is popped out, and work on 5 for the WIF-X extension.
Copy, 6 Golf 5. Those are your settings, and thanks for the pull twist test.
This is the 4th set of brackets, first one on the starboard side of the vehicle. A modification kit is the support structure needed for future IROSA or ISS rollout solar array upgrades.
Bracket right side, and that's the one to remember. You have that strut tab that needs to go under the mounting bracket guide. The pieces should be flush together.
You'll hear some acronyms today. I'm sure you've heard BRT.
Before I do the Gulf 5, I'm thinking maybe I'll set up the APFR settings just so it's easier to reach it.
Okay, copy that. Settings 12, Tango Tango, Fox 12.
12 is set.
I got M13 and 14 hand started.
Okay, copy. M13 and 14.
4 turns.
We're looking for 4 turns, and I've got PGT settings. Actually, you've already hand started them, so next you're going to retrieve the left upper strut from the bag, and that's the one on the right side, straps 3 and 4.
You'll hear acronyms today, just like spoken previously. Rajachari mentioned his APFR, or articulating portable foot restraint, that will help him during the assembly today. The crew is at the proper work site and are starting the 3A upper bracket build.
And Raja and Kayla, I've got a warning for you here just about the strut builds. The misaligned or fractured pit pin spring may present a sharp edge. Inspect pit pins before actuating, please.
Roger.
Copy.
Okay, Kayla, and you're going to install the left upper strut L2 to the center pad L2. And then I've got PGT settings when you're ready.
Sure, I'm going to try to hand start M17.
Okay, copy. Just let us know how many turns.
The APFR is 12, Tango Tango, Fox 12. I have not done the WIFX extension yet. I'm going to get my BRT right off there first. Untangle up my safety tether, then I'll work on the WIFX extension.
Okay, copy that. And for the APFR, please verify that pitch knob has popped out.
It did pop out. Yep, good news.
Good news.
Took a little bit of coercing.
Okay,
All right,
copy.
I'm hand started 1 turn on M17.
Copy 1 turn M17. PGT settings are Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
Sure.
You'll hear the duo today talk about their PGT, or their pistol grip tool. They'll use that to bolt and unbolt things today.
Bravo 7, clockwise 2 steps.
And Kayla, that's Bravo 1, Uno, Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
Oh. Much better. Bravo 1, clockwise 2 steps.
That is a good readback. You are going to drive M17 to torque for a total of 7 to 9 turns. So we're looking for 6 to 8 more turns.
Via Kayla Barron's helmet cam.
I have 10 additional turns, half line flush, green light, 11.9 for torque.
Copy, 11.9 on the torque. 10 additional for 11 total turns, and the black line is flush. That is a good bolt to M17. Okay, now I know we just drove the bolt on the left upper strut, but once your PGT is put away, you can release the ret from the right strut. The ret from the right strut.
Understand. That's going to work.
And Kayla, if you can see my, I think it just spun up above my helmet. I'm trying to come down a little bit and clear it while I was rotating around the WIFAC here.
I see it. It's kind of caught behind your L hip. Oh, there you go. That's clear. Just let it retract. It should tighten back up. And
EV1, EV2.
Removing the ret from the upper right strut.
That is a good readback. And once that is off, you can install the center pad MLI and pip pin.
Installed, working on MOI.
Alright, WIFAC and APFR are installed to the 5, and you know where you're at, Kayla, in terms of coming over there to help you?
Actually, nice job on the APFR and WIFX. Raja, we need you to pause. Just give your MEDOX a second, so just stand by and pause EV2. And EV1, will you repeat your last call, please?
Pins in place, MLI's in place, and I will move on to M1516.
Okay, now we're going to assemble the left upper strut to the mounting bracket. And so we want to install the left upper strut L8 to the mounting bracket left side. And again, make sure that same slide tab is under the mounting bracket guide.
We are currently in between satellites, but we should have signal back to the EVA shortly.
And Kayla, I have PGT settings for you when you're ready.
I've got 4 turns by hand on M15, and I'm going to see if I can get M16 and engage 1 turn, and then I'll go from our PGT.
Copy, 4 turns by hand on M15 and working M16 now.
I've got 1 turn by hand on M16, and I'm just going to reposition the triangle a little bit, and then I'll grab my PG.
Copy, 1 turn by hand on M16. Standing by with PGT settings.
for settings.
Hey, your PGT settings are Bravo 3, Clock 2. And we're going to drive M16 first.
Bravo 3, clockwise 2 set.
And starting with M16, you're going to drive 16 and 15 to torque. You have a go.
Turn.
And M16 should be about 25 total turns, so 24-ish more. And Raja, how's your HAP doing?
Dry.
Copy, dry HAP, thank you.
All right, I got a red light, low torque, 21.24 turn, and that matched my count of 22 turns. Figured I should try it again.
Okay, stand by. Copy, red light, low torque. And yes, with Bravo 3, Clock 2, you have a go to hit it again. And copy 22 more turns for a total of 23.
I hit it again, green light, 18.2 for torque, and I got maybe an eighth of a turn out of that additional hit.
Copy, green light, 18.2 on the torque, and an eighth of a turn for 23 and an eighth. And how's the black line doing?
Line is flush.
Copy, black line is flush. You can move on to M15, looking for about 21 more turns, drive that one to torque.
Currently seeing views of Kayla Barron using that pistol grip tool. They'll be using it throughout today's spacewalk. And that is essentially a space drill that is used to help secure and release bolts during the spacewalk.
And then we can move over to help Kayla out, building the triangle.
Gloves look good. And gauntlets are down. Copy, I'll start heading Kayla's way.
And, yeah, I guess we still have 2 bolts to drive.
And Roger,
it's pretty close, though.
Actually, yeah, you can stand.
And I got another low.
I'll stay here. I can start getting the APFR if you want.
Yeah, you can stay there and start working on ingress in the APFR. And Kayla, you stand by. You can go ahead hit it again.
Red light, low torque, and that was okay. Okay, now I got a green light, 18.3 on the torque, and that was 0 additional turns.
And can we get the initial turn count and the black line?
Black line flush. Yeah, I started at 4 turns, and then we got 20 additional turns for a total of 24.
Copy, 20 additional for a total of 24. Green light, black line flush on M15. Okay, Kayla, you can release your ret from the left strut. You can release the ret from the left strut. All right, you can install the mounting bracket.
Get back to M1314.
You can install the mounting bracket MLI.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Mounting bracket MLI.
Okay, roger that.
Now 1 hour into today's spacewalk, recapping some of the milestones. The spacewalk began at 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 Eastern, when suits were switched on to internal power. Baron and Chari have now arrived at their workstation and have begun the upper 3A bracket build-out.
Okay, I think I'm in the APFR. It feels like there's something behind my left leg, though. With the chance.
Your safety tether is between your legs.
That's what it is. Okay. It'll be a factor for up here when I come back, so I can fix it.
I agree. All right, about the MLI on the left side. Mounting bracket.
Copy that. Now we're going to go and torque the right upper strut to the mounting bracket. And I've got some PGT settings for M14 and 13 when you're ready.
For settings.
All right, you're looking for Bravo 3, clock 2. And you're going to drive M13 and 14 to torque in any order.
Green light, 18.4. Black line is flush, and that was 2-1 turn additional.
All right, on which bolt?
13.
M13, 18.4, 21 additional for 25 turns. Green light, black line flush. You have a go for 14. And Raja, while you're up there, no sudden moves on the mass canister or the mod kit. Move slowly on the BGA. And maximum lateral loads are not a whole lot, so be gentle up there. Avoid cyclic loading and do not impart forces into the mod kit struts when not fully installed. I'll give you guys a call when it's fully installed. And battery and adapter plate cables on the IEA are potential snag hazards.
Green line, lights, black line flush, 18.4, 0 turns additional.
And I believe I copied 20 additional turns for 24 total green light and a black line that's flush. Okay, that's a good M13 and 14. Please verify after you put your PGT away. Verify the center pad, MLI, and pit pin.
Center pad, MLI, and pit pin look good, and the MLI on the mounting bracket side is in work.
Stand by on the other MLI.
Okay, stand by.
Yeah, just the center pad, MLI, and pit pin. and then you're going to move the long PGT. So once you've aware of that. So we're going to set up to hand off the upper triangle so that we can install to the mass canister. Let's see. So now, Kayla, we're going to transfer the upper triangle with the PGT to EV2, and you can leave them on the bag. It's a RET in series.
So let me know when you got visibility on the triangle.
I can see part of it, but can't quite reach it yet.
I'm going to work on rotating it around a bit. Give you the right side first.
Just over 1 hour and 7 minutes into today's spacewalk, Baron and Chari are currently focusing on the build-out of the 3A bracket for the solar array modification kit. The new solar arrays, which are set to be delivered to the space station on upcoming commercial resupply service missions, are a larger version of the rollout solar arrays, or ROSA technology, and will ultimately increase the station's total available power from 160 kilowatts up to 215 kilowatts. We do have a special guest with us today on the line. Jeremiah McNatt is a photovoltaic technology lead. Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi, Shaniqua.
Pointing up. And so remember how this mechanism works. You're going to engage the left side first.
Thank you for having me on
It's up and
today.
down to engage it. If it doesn't slide all the way in, it's up and down a little bit till they engage, and then you're going to pivot it to the right to engage the soft dock.
Jeremiah, can you please explain to us what a photovoltaic technology lead is?
Certainly. I'm the photovoltaic technology lead at NASA Glenn Research Center, where we do a lot of research and development efforts for new photovoltaic devices through arrays.
Actually,
and
Caleb,
my role as the tech lead
PGT,
is to oversee all of the projects that we have that we're working on, look for new ideas and new concepts to start to pursue in the future, and then support flight missions such as what's happening with the iROSA arrays and with Gateway and Artemis to photovoltaic systems on the lunar surface.
That is amazing. And you did mention just now the iROSA solar arrays. Why are they important technology for us right now?
ROSA and the iROSA arrays are super important. As you said at the beginning, they're going to add more power to the space station. The ROSA arrays were developed over the past 10 years or so, and we've seen in the past couple years a demonstration on space station, and they were just used on the DART mission. And the benefits of ROSA is that you can store a lot more solar array in a much smaller package. So the arrays that are being deployed with iROSA are about 20 kilowatts each, and they're stowed in one very small, compact rolled tube that can then be put into different commercial resupply vehicles. So a much easier way to get a lot of power up into space. We're going to continue that when we use them on Gateway, on the power and propulsion element, and also maybe on the lunar surface.
Okay, copy, Roger. Good job on getting that soft dock. I've got some PGT settings for you when you're ready.
That's awesome, Jeremiah. And I know you mentioned the Gateway. Can you explain a little bit about Gateway and how the technology that you guys are looking at now will help for future exploration in deep space?
Certainly. So I'll first talk a little bit about iROSA to Gateway.
Okay, and then it's going to be...
The iROSA arrays are around 20 kilowatt each. The arrays that are going to be on Gateway, on the power and propulsion element, are 30 kilowatts each. So a little bit larger, about 50% larger in size. And what's really unique and what's different between what's happening on Space Station and what's going to happen on Gateway is that when the power and propulsion element of Gateway is launched, those arrays will open autonomously. They'll open on their own. Currently, what people are seeing right now on Space Station is an adapter bracket is being installed, an installation bracket, and then later on, when those iROSA arrays make it up to Space Station, they will be deployed with support of the astronauts. For Gateway, they'll be deployed on their own and will provide power throughout that mission. The power and propulsion element is just one of the different components of Gateway. There's also going to be other modules that will attach to it. And while that's orbiting the moon, it's going to be a great stopping point and a stepping off point for astronauts to go to the lunar surface, to continue to do research on the moon, and then also eventually be able to be used to let us go further out, to go to Mars, and to continue to explore the solar system.
And that's amazing. Thank you, Jeremiah, for your time this morning. That's Jeremiah McNett, the photovoltaic technology lead, going over some of the great work that these modification and iROSA arrays, solar arrays will help do on the International Space Station and our future with the Gateway. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Thank you. 2 turns each,
Thank you.
5 through 8. And with the same PGT settings and 2 turns on all 4 bolts, now we can drive M5 through 8 to torque a minimum of 3 additional turns.
Buddy, driving all 3 torque, that's 3 additional turns. M5.
And an update, the crew is complete with the 3A upper bracket build task and are beginning the installation of the center pad to the mass canister.
But you guys are already getting some interesting lighting conditions up there. Just do what you got to do.
M5, 4.7 additional turns, good green lights, and 3.1.
Copy. Was at 4.7 additional turns, green light on M5.
Like 5.3 turns on M8, good green light, 3.6.
Copy, 5.3 additional turns for 7.3 total green light on M8.
M6, 5.3 turns, good green light, 3.8.
M6, 5.3 green light.
And M7, 5.1 turns, green light, 3.7.
Copy, 5.1 additional for 7.1 total on M7 with a green light. That's a good M5 through 8. Okay, Roger. Now you're going to transfer the long PGT with the RET and adjustable combo from the upper triangle to Kayla.
I'm getting in position for that, Roger.
And Kayla, you're going to stow that on your swing arm.
Yeah. Once you get control of it, I'll take the other side of the RET off. It's above your head. Trying to put the socket down in front of you.
I got it.
All right. Once you have a RET out, let me know and I'll let go of this one.
I'm back. I've got a mini workstation RET on it.
Okay. Coming back.
Okay.
It's back at the PGT.
Okay. Wound around the mounting bracket RET, so I'm just going to work on undoing that.
Roger that, Kayla. Take your time, and that's going on your swing arm. And Roger, you're going to release the mounting bracket RET when you're ready.
On my swing arm here.
Mounting bracket RET's coming back to the bag.
All right, Roger, and we're a minute block, and the MLI for the left and right upper strut is closed. And I believe we left that left upper strut MLI for you to do.
I'm working on that right now. Both grounding pins are installed, and I'm just tightening the MLI now. MLI is closed. I think I'm good to get out of the APFR. Is that correct?
In just a second, yes. Verify the upper triangle is not rotated up.
That is down towards my waist.
Copy. And then once you're both able, we'll take glove, hat, and gauntlet checks from you, and then you can egress the APFR and adjust 25 seconds to a handover, and I'll catch you on the other side.
when I do this APFR egress pin, I may need your
And EV1, EV2, Houston's back with you.
I got gloves. Same as baseline with the exception of there's some new smudging. It looks like maybe some of the labels on the struts are kind of rubbing off onto my gloves because I can see some mirror image letters on my fingers. But everything else looks good. My hat is dry. And my gauntlets are down.
Copy. Dry hap, good gauntlets. And for EV1's gloves, you've got some smudging. You believe it's ink from the strut labels.
Good copy.
And for EV2, you've got a dry hat, gauntlets are down, and some smudges on my right pinky, ring finger, and index finger, and left ring finger. Just some like smudge marks.
Copy. Dry hap, good gauntlets, and smudges on the right pinky, index, and ring finger, and left ring finger.
With that, I'm going to egress the APFR if you're ready.
You have a go to egress. And I've got...
I got eyes on your grinder. And be mindful of your safety tethers between your legs, so you may want to...
Yeah, that's why I'm...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we can see it in the camera view too. And so you may want to point your feet back toward your fair lead on the corner of the IEA and try to work it back between your legs into the front.
Your heel outboard. I'll kick it back. Yep, there you go. Inboard. Yep, now it's back in front.
Thanks.
And it's kind of crossing over the right side of your body.
Now 1 hour and 22 minutes into today's spacewalk, recapping some of the milestones today.
I didn't know if you, I think normally you would have wanted to tether off your right side.
Yep, let's go off my left.
So far today, the crew has gotten to their work site, completed a 3A upper bracket build out, and now has begun the installation of the center pad to the mass canister. They're currently doing a hap and glove check.
There you go. Off to your right now.
Thanks. That should be good now. Got to go into 12 Papa Hotel, 12 on APFR, and Franklin with X.
Yep.
Good APFR settings.
Upper left strut, or section mid left strut.
And confirm, Roger, you said adjusting the WIFX extension to 1.
Correct.
Copy. And then, hey, before you get back in the APFR, if you want to run a fair lead down to that outboard aft corner of the IEA, that's off to your right. That may also help keep your tether in good config.
Yeah, let me do that while I'm down there doing the APFR or the WIFX.
Perfect.
Good idea.
And then last one, and I'll remind you before you get back in, if you want to loosen the friction on the ingress aid a little bit, that might help you tuck it away. And copy, Kayla, I heard you say you're grabbing that left mid-strut, straps 12 and 13, bottom right side of the bag.
Got it ready to go.
Copy. And so just something for you guys to think over. He can ingress, and then you can pass it, or you can pass it to him, and then he ingress the APFR. Over to you guys. You are going to do a ret swap on that one to Raj's BRT.
We plan on the ingressing. Over.
Copy. You said ingress before the handoff?
Yeah.
Currently in an orbital nighttime, we see Chari and Baron using their helmet lights to fully install brackets. Excuse me, we see Baron and Chari as they install the 3A center pad to the mass canister. The crew has completed the center pad install, and they are now moving on to the installation of the left struts.
We came up again, so when I'm done setting this, I'm going to go back and maybe put an adjustable down there.
Copy that?
We copy. Yeah, I see you loosening the friction on the ingress aid. Yeah, just enough so that you can push it down and it'll stay where you leave it.
We got 12, Papa, Hotel 12. The lift X is back down to 1.
Copy. Those are good settings, and confirm the pitch knobs popped out.
Pop out, yep. I'm going to go work on trying to put this tether somewhere so it doesn't keep snagging on me.
Roger, you may want to give your waist tether a tug just to get it a little higher. You reel? There you go. I wanted to get caught behind you again.
Thanks. I popped off this handrail, so it's behind my legs, though.
It's crossing your body over your left knee right now. There you go. You should see it now coming around.
Tally, thanks. Time to pause here. I can go ahead and put an adjustable down with this fairly.
If you like it, I love it. Yeah, sounds good.
No problem. Worth the time.
Yep, take your time, Roger, and then if you can, let us know the handrail that you put the adjustable on, or where you put it.
That's inboard recessed one.
The one just after.
42.
Say again, Roger.
242.
Is that 2242?
I guess the place. Yep, yeah, it was the original one we were going to set. It's just I put an adjustable there instead of wrapping it around.
Copy, yep, an adjustable on 2242.
Eyes on you for the thin grass grinder.
Okay.
That roll pedal.
Thank you.
Reels. Yeah, there you go.
Router. I think the roll changed on me, did it? Cool.
Might be pushing the yaw pedal right now. There, it looks square again.
Yeah, it's all okay. Yep. I'll make sure.
Watch that yaw pedal.
Unfortunately, I made this ingress made too loose now.
Yeah, Roger, and if you got to leave it rigid, that's fine. We'll just keep an eye on that BRT.
Well, it definitely gave you a hard time bending over before, so I want to dance that since this time I have to bend over for those bolts in MLI.
Yep. And then just a reminder, Raja, not to use the mod kit for the APFR ingress or egress. Gotta say it.
No, understood. That's why it's taking me trying to avoid touching that triangle. Let me tighten it a little bit more here. Wait up, I can still move it. think I'm in on the right. No?
Right heel doesn't look locked into me. Be in too deep. Maybe if it feels good, I have kind of a weird angle.
First station. The left is in. Nope, you're right. The right's not quite in.
I don't think your left is in either. I think you have your toes in too deep.
Okay.
So you need to back the one you're going to actuate out before you rotate inboard. If you try wedging one toe and then working the other heel, and then circle back for the first one.
Okay.
If you're working your left, you might be in a little too deep, so back your toe out a little bit. You working your left foot right now?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, you're in too deep, so I would start again with your heel out and up. Okay, now there you go. Now rotate inboard. Further, till it drops down. Almost there. Rotate further inboard. And you might need to back your toe out. Now rotate in. Not quite.
Almost like my toe got wedged in there.
There you go. That's the roll pedal. I don't think anything's blocking you. I think your toes are
going in too deep?
Yeah, your toes are in too deep. So you need to keep your heel back, rotate your heel inboard till it drops down. Then come forward.
And hey, Raja, one other thing that helps to keep your feet flat to the boot plate. It's tempting to lean forward and look at your toes, but actually squat down a little bit, put some bend in your knees, and even slightly lean back, just a tad.
On my right side.
Okay. I don't have great visibility on it because of where your safety tether reel is, but I might be able to check once you think you're in.
I think the left's in.
That looks good, Brandon.
Right, I think I'm in too deep.
I agree.
Caught on my reel or something.
If you want, you could kick your reel out to the right with your foot. I don't think it's in your way. Your safety tether is between your legs again. You'd have to sweep your foot, your right toe inboard and behind it. You've got to cross more toward your left if you want to capture it, or maybe pull on your waist tether. It's almost there.
Under the boot plate, it seems like.
Yeah, you might be able to catch it with your right toe. You move your toe towards your left foot. You're almost there. Yep, there you go.
If you're just joining us, welcome to Mission Control Houston. We're bringing you live coverage today of the 247th spacewalk in support of the International Space Station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. NASA astronauts Kayla Barron and Raja Chari have ventured outside the space station to assemble and install brackets and strut kits for upcoming solar array upgrades.
I've got pressure on the tops of my feet, but I think I'm mistaken for the top of the suit. I think it's actually the BSI, but anyway.
You're locked in now, though.
All right. And I can collapse.
Nice work, Raja.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Way to stick with it.
Go a little higher. This is going to get my BRT red on it.
Hey, firm, you're going to red swap and then stow that one on your BRT.
To recap some of the milestones, at 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 a.m. Eastern Time, NASA astronaut Kayla Barron and Raja Chari turned their suits onto battery power, marking the official start of today's spacewalk. They are currently working on the starboard forward truss at the 3A power channel. So far, they have successfully installed the upper brackets and center pad to the mast canister. They are currently working on the left struts.
All right, Kayla, looks like you're back to the bag, grabbing the left lower strut, straps 5 and 6.
Can work.
Ready for the lower?
And Raja, once you've got that mid-strut on your BRT and out of the way, tuck and, if you can, collapse that ingress aid.
Already done.
Copy. And now you're going to retrieve the left lower strut and pass that to Raja. And Raja,
I've got my hands on the left lower.
And you're going to ret to the handrail nearest the clevis end of the left lower strut.
Yep, I've got that. It's the same stanchion that has the wire tie on it. And I've got control of it, and I've got my red on it.
I'm going to release the bag rep. It's released.
Okay.
You have the strut.
I have the strut.
Okay, Kayla, you can translate to the Saab launch bracket at the base of the mast canister left side. Hey, we're 5 minutes to sunrise. And then, Raja, if you can verify the grounding pit pin is removed from the strut stow location.
Pin is actually in, if you can see my camera, so you want that out, correct? That they need to put that into the mounting bracket.
Hey, firm, we like it removed.
It's removed now.
Copy. Okay, Kayla, once you get to that Saab launch bracket, you're going to report the spherical bearing alignment. And remember, that's a pitch point. Keep your fingers clear of the lower strut pad and BGA interface when you guys go to install this bolt.
Looks pretty straight to me.
Okay, we copy. That's good news. So now we're going to work together to install the left lower strut M21 to the Saab launch bracket.
Roger, if you want to start working the...
Coming towards you.
Very nice. All right, we need to go zenith. And if you could push your end a tiny bit toward the mast canister. Good right there.
Okay.
A little more zenith. Okay. Maybe, yeah, that's good for now.
Okay, Kayla, and you're going to hand start M21 4 turns. And I've got PGT settings if you're ready.
Started 4 turns.
Copy. Hand starting 4 turns on M21, and I've got PGT settings if you're ready.
It's already done 4 turns. And
Copy.
do I start driving now, or does Roger do his end first?
Yep. Copy 4 on M21, and so we're going up to Roger.
Standing by.
Copy.
Okay, we're going to...
PGT, looks like I'm doing Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
Affirm, Bravo 1, clockwise 2, and 2 turns on M22.
Copy. I'll use this PGT, going to Kayla.
And Kayla, you're going to PGT Bravo 7, clockwise 2 next.
Bravo 7, clockwise 2 set.
Good count, 21.1 volts. Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
Affirm, Bravo 1, clockwise 2 for Roger. And this is that bolt that has the multiple diameters, and so you've got to get the thinner part that threads through, and then the larger part has to come through. So there's going to, you can kind of wiggle and get that bolt all the way through the different brackets there. And then you want to put 2 turns on M22, Bravo 1, clock 2.
Thin black line is flush, here comes 2 turns. Okay, 2 turns.
Copy, 2 turns on M22. And Kayla, we're going over to you now. We're going to drive M21 to torque. And again, it was Bravo 7, clock 2, so get in a good position.
Yep. Bravo 7, clockwise 2 set, and I'm going to start turn. And I got a low torque, but I wasn't in a great body position at the end there, so I'd like to give it another go, if you agree. Counted 9 turns.
Okay, I think I heard 9 turns with a low torque, and you have a go to hit it again.
And I got a green light, 25.4, and that was maybe half to 1 additional turn. And I'm going to get in a better position to tell you black line.
Copy, half to 1 additional turn, so I'm showing 13.5 to 14 turns with a green light, and you're checking the black line now. Actually, we aren't in final torque yet, so the next thing you're going to do is socket swap the 2-inch socket off of your PGT to the torque wrench, and we'll final torque with the wrench.
Socket swap, good pull test.
Thanks for the pull test. Good socket swap, and now you're going to final torque with the torque wrench, and it should be set to clockwise and 60 foot-pounds. This is the untaped torque wrench. And we're looking for about 1 turn, and we want the torque wrench to break over twice.
Top line looks parallel and flush. There's maybe a tiny bit of metal still showing, so maybe not, like I would say maybe a millimeter.
Okay, the black line is a millimeter.
About a little over 1 additional turn.
A little over 1 additional turn, and about a millimeter between the black line and the bolt cam. Hey, stand by, we're checking. Okay, Kayla, and if you could check the gap between the strut boss and the bearing surface, and also give it a wiggle test.
Looks parallel with no gap, and good wiggle test, still secure to me.
Okay, we call that a good M21. And you can socket swap the 2-inch from the torque wrench back to your short PGT. And Raja, I've got PGT settings for you when you're ready.
Yeah, I've got throttle 1 clockwise 2 and ready for number turns and drive.
All right, you can drive M22 to torque.
The torque. M22, I had 6.9 turns, good green light, 12.0, and black line flush, but from the parallax here, with the mirror it's flush, maybe a ½ millimeter. I can try hitting it again.
Okay, 6.9 for a total of 8.9 turns, green light, and you're saying a ½ millimeter between the black line?
That's, it looks like more from my angle, but when I put the mirror up to it, I'd say ½ millimeter at max. Parallax in it. I'm trying to get a straight on look at it.
That's a good M22, Roger.
Socket swap complete. I did full test.
Copy. Thank you for that. Roger, you can show your PGT, and Kayla, please verify the lower strut MLI covering the lower strut pad.
Strut MLI is covering the pad.
I'm working the pit pin on this side.
All right, thank you. And you can install the grounding pit pin to the grounding block and then install the MLI. And Kayla, check your left and right safer handles down, and then you can translate to the mass canister left pad install location.
Grounding pit pin is into the mounting bracket. And MLI is around the M22 bolts.
Okay, sounds good, and you can release the ret. That's to the left lower strut.
That's coming off the left lower struts.
I'll check my safer handles when I get up to the side pad.
I can see your right side is down. You're good on that side.
Thanks, Roger. Copy, Kayla.
Safer handle is down.
Thanks, Kayla. Left and right safer handles down. And Roger, when you have a free hand, you can grab that left mid-strut from your BRT.
And confirm I can take the locking pin out of it and start extending it?
Okay, yeah, you can release the middle grounding pin from the lock position. It's opposite the handrail. And then you can extend the mid-strut with the side pad towards Kayla.
I'm ready, Grinder. I got my BRT down.
All right, Kayla, and once you have that side pad, you're going to engage the right side first. Remember, it's a little up and down to engage that clevis, and then you're going to pivot it outboard to the left to engage the soft dock. And again, friendly neighborhood Fairchild fasteners here, so use caution, and you can hand start bolts M1 through M4, 2 turns.
I'm going to plan to use my PGT for these ones.
Copy that. PGT, it's the long PGT for M1 through M4. And then, Roger, over to you two on the sequence. But
and can I get settings for that, Ike?
A-firm, Alpha 2, Clock 2, and we just go with the side pad first, and then we'll come back to Roger. So Alpha 2, Clock 2 for M1 through M4, 2 turns each.
Okay.
Are you holding this for me because I won't be able to reach it after you
Yeah,
have it?
I will be able to get to it. I'm just biased a little left for the bolts here, but I can move over there. On M1?
2 on 1.
On M2?
2 on 2.
On M3?
2 on M3.
On M4.
Copy. 2 on all M1 through M4. And Roger, if you can install the left mid-strut L8 to the upper strut L8. If you need to pop a foot out, you can do so from the APFR. And then I've got PGT settings for you when you're ready.
Okay. I think I've got it hand started, actually. Got 1 turn by hand.
Copy. 1 turn by hand.
Now 2 hours into today's spacewalk, recapping some of the milestones of today.
Okay, I got 2 turns by hand if that works. Otherwise, I can deal with the PGT.
Okay, Bravo 1.
At 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 a.m. Eastern Time, Baron and Chari turn their suits on battery power, marking the official start of today's spacewalk.
And this is on M28. You say you got 2 turns. You're going to drive M28 to torque.
M28 to torque. Sorry, I got ahead of you there, Ike, but I was able to pop it through with my fingers and see the fastener come out the other side, so I didn't want to go with my grip.
I hear you. Get it while you can.
All right.
The crew then translated over to the 3A work site on the S4 truss, where they have now completed the 3A upper bracket build, 3A center pad to mass canister, and they have just completed the left lower strut install. The Iorusa mod kit is in a good minimum configuration, and the crew is continuing to be on time on the current timetable.
Copy. Thank you.
M28 had 6.7 turns on the PGT. Good green light, 11.8.
6.7. Copy. Black line flush. 6.7 after your two-hand start for 8.7 total turns. Black line flush on M28. Roger. You can stow your PGT. And Kayla, those same PGT settings we'll use to torque M1 through M4. Alpha 2, clock 2.
She's doing that. I'm going to put the pit pin in up here.
Alpha 2, clock 2 set.
Copy, and you have a go to drive. Copy, M1 through 4 to torque. And Roger, you can install that grounding pit pin to the grounding block. One minute to handover. Roger, you can get a nice long glove check. We'll take a happen gauntlet check on the other side. And Kayla, you can drive M1 through M4 to torque at Alpha 2, clock 2.
M1, green light, 3.7, 4 turns.
4 turns, green light M1. $30 seconds to hand over.
Green light, 4 turns, 3.7 on the torque, M2.
M2, 4 turns, green light.
Piece of metal sod right there.
Okay, we're back with you, Kayla, and can you repeat that call?
I see it.
Yeah, so M3 and M4 are both driven to torque with a green light. 5 turns on M3, 4 on M4. And there's a small piece of metal sod. It's like kind of looks like a curved wire. Like not quite a half circle, like maybe it's a piece of a spring or a washer. And I first saw it near the side pad M3, but I didn't see it separate.
I didn't think it. It looked more like the same size spring. Let's see. I can see of wire. It looks like that kind of thing. So I don't think it was the back of the Fairchild fastener.
Yeah.
All right.
I had good checks on that bolt.
Okay. Can you guys verify that the pit pins are all still installed?
The side pad pit pin is installed.
Yep, and the the lower strut and the mid strut are installed. And I can see the upper strut to the center pad are installed as well.
Copy. And Kayla, being careful of any sharp edges there, if you could give a wiggle test on each of the bolts M1 through 4.
They're recessed, so it's a little bit hard to get my fingers in there, but they do look flush. I didn't encounter any resistance while the bolt was turning, and I watched it engage, and I got good torque in light. and I don't think they're wiggling. They all look good to me.
Okay, copy. Thank you for that report. And I copied your M3 and 4 reports, 5 turns on 3, 4 on 4 with green lights on both. And you said a small half circle-ish piece of FOD looks like a curved wire or maybe a part of a spring, and you saw it initially near M3. And Kayla, do you see where that piece of FOD is now?
It floated toward Raja and then away.
I tried to stop it with Michael, and then it bounced station forward.
Copy. Thank you. All right, that's a good M3 and M4, good side pad install. Kayla, you can stow your PGT, and if you can reach it, you can release CV2's ret from the left mid strut.
Roger?
Yep.
That's released. My PGT is stowed.
Okay, copy.
And the mid-strut hip pins installed.
Thanks for that, Roger. And we'll take that glove hap and gauntlet check from you. And Kayla, you can verify the pip pin and the MLI are installed over the side pad.
Verified, installed.
My gauntlets are down. Still have a dry hap, and the only other new smudge is on my left thumb, a small little smudge. May have been maybe before I didn't notice it, but no other new.
Copy, left thumb smudge for EV2.
I think I'm egressing the APFR and reconfiguring it. Is that true?
That is true. And Kayla?
I think I'm headed to get the torque wrench and PGT.
Affirm the short PGT and the torque wrench from S4 handrail 2240 and the torque wrench from the left lower strut. And you're going to bundle them together and take them to the strut bag. And Raja, one other thing, if you could power on your WVS. I think we saw it power off.
Okay. I push the button. It looks like the light's still off. I'll push it again. I still don't see a green light. Try it one more time. Okay, I see a green WVS light.
Copy. Good config. Thank you. All right, Kayla. So, yeah, you're grabbing that short PGT and that torque wrench from the left lower strut. You're going to bundle them and then attach them to the right lower strut, which is in the strut bag. Okay, Roger, and I've got APFR settings for you if you need them.
So I'll Papa Charlie 12. I can just change the roll.
Good copy.
Your helmet's just right above the APFR. You're fine, but just so you know.
The crew is now complete with the left struts and are moving on to the right struts for the 3A installation. If you're just joining us, we're 2 hours and 12 minutes into the EVA, where the crew has gone to the 3A work site and has built an upper bracket build, as well as completed the center pass to mass canister install. And we have now completed the left struts and now on to the right for the 3A power channel. On your screen, you see EV1, Kayla Barron at the top of your screen, and you see Raja Chari in the articulated foot restraint. His suit is designated with no stripes, while Kayla Barron, EV1, has the red stripes.
Can you tell if I'm in, Kayla, or am I in too deep? I can't get my heels up, so I think I'm in.
Stand by a minute, Grinder.
Yeah, no problem. No rush.
And
I've
Kayla.
got the PGT and torque wrench to the left lower strut, handrail assist to the sub. And go ahead, Ike.
Perfect. I was actually going to just remind you where you wanted to put them, and then you can lock the PGT ret and or use the strut wire tie to stow the tools as needed. And then we'll take a glove, hap, and gauntlet check from you.
Stand by. Got the ret locked, and I've got the torque wrench kind of under the wire tie. My gauntlets are down. Hap is dry. And checking out my gloves now.
Dry, hap, good gauntlets. Copy.
Data baseline, I'm trying to remember if I saw this before, but there's a little bit of RTV wear below my right index finger.
Okay, copy. Was that?
Spot that's come up.
Did you say below your index finger or on the right index finger?
Just below it in the transition between like the pad RTV and the turtle skin RTV below it.
Okay, right index finger, and we've got a good video of that as well. Thank you. We copy. Right index finger RTV wear.
And Raja, just because of your orientation, I can't tell for sure if your heels are in.
Yeah, I can't pull them up, so I've either wedged in so good or I'm in, but either
you
way,
look pretty secure to me.
Either way, I can't move.
What I can tell, you look like you're in.
Okay, Kayla, you're going to retrieve the right mid-strut. That's backstraps 9 and 10 to transfer to Roger. And he's obviously a little farther away, so you're going to have to work together to get that handoff.
More of a blind handoff when we get to.
Yep. And you're going to stow that mid-strut on your BRT, doing a ret swap to the stanchion closest to the side pad.
Roger, do you feel like you can lean a little to your left?
I can, yep.
Okay. I may have to, let's see how far we get here.
Get to about, it's kind of oscillatory, like I come that way and then the momentum swings, so I come back the other direction. Without grabbing onto the mounting bracket, I can't hold myself too far that direction.
And up onto the triangle here.
I can see it coming towards me. Wish I was taller.
Actually, taller may not help in this situation.
Got it?
I've got fingers on it. Okay, I've got contact. I've got control. Let me get a red on it, and then I'll send it back towards you to get the red off.
Nice job. And you want to ret to the stanchion closest to the side pad.
There's 3.
And Roger, it looks to me like you can probably reach the bag ret, and that might be easier if you feel like you can get it with your left hand.
Yep, I can do that. Coming back.
Go for it.
All right, nice job. Now, Kayla, you're going to retrieve the right lower strut to pass off to Roger when he's got a free hand. You're going to pass him the, you want the clevis bolt toward EV2. And that's backstraps 7 and 8, right in the middle of the bag.
What are we doing relative to timeline, Ike?
AV1, AV2, you're about 15 minutes ahead. Slow and steady.
Very nice. Here.
All right, ready for the lower.
And Roger, you're going to ret to the handrail stanchion closest to the clevis end of the right lower strut.
Okay. Could you tip it towards the mass cast or towards the center? And then it's a little towards me. I've got a hand on it. I don't have control yet. Now I've got control. And you said the handrail closest to the clevis?
Affirm. Handrail stanchion nearest the clevis end.
And Ike, am I good to start translating around?
Once he does the ret swap, you're going to have to release the bag ret.
I've got my red on it. It's coming back to you.
Yep, and then Kayla, you can translate to the mass canister right side sob launch bracket. We recommend going outboard of the mass canister to the radiator side, and please fair lead so that your tether stays off of the BGA. You can use S5 handrail 2102.
Bag ret's removed.
Okay, I've got it.
And Roger, just a reminder, there's a PGT and a torque wrench on the bottom of this one, so you've got some tools down there as well that you're moving. Perfect.
Okay. But I can see the spherical bolt from here. It looks flat. The right side.
Thank you for that. Right side spherical bearing looks flush.
Yep.
And then, Kayla, you're headed over to the right side, sob bolt, and same warning, watch out for the pinch point there.
Could you say again the handrail you want me to fair lead on?
Recommendation is S5 handrail 2102. But the important thing is just if you keep your safety tether cable off of the BGA, there's quite a few options to do that.
Fairly under the recommended handrail. I'm not sure if it'll stay as I translating, but I'll keep an eye on it. And if it comes out, I will fairly it.
Okay, we copy.
It stayed in place.
Good words, thanks. And Roger, if you can verify that the grounding pin is removed from the strut stow location.
It is removed.
Copy.
Currently 2 hours and 23 minutes into today's EVA, we see Kayla Barron translating over to the right side of the 3A mast canister to help Raja Chari install the 3A right struts.
All right, I'm just going to adjust my cooling real quick, Roger.
Yeah, no problem.
Recapping some of the milestones today at 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 a.m. Eastern, NASA astronauts Kayla Barron and Raja Chari turned their suits on battery power, making their way out of the hatch to start today's spacewalk. They are currently on the starboard 4 truss at the 3A power channel. They have successfully installed the upper bracket and center pad to the mast canister, as well as the installation of the left struts. They are currently working, again, on the right struts for install. This is all for the modification kit.
Let me check in my gear sheet and I'll see if I can get a hand on that bolt.
Sounds good. Yep, then you're going to work together to install the right lower strut M19 to the Saab launch bracket.
This install will be for future IROSA or ISS rollout solar array upgrades.
And we want to.
Yep, I'll hold it there.
And we're going to start with 4 turns. I've got PGT settings if you want them.
All right, there's 4 turns by hand.
Copy. 4 turns by hand on M19. All right, so we're going to move over to Raja, and we're going to hand start the right lower strut L6 to mounting bracket L6. That's both M20, and we'd like 2 turns. I have PGT settings if you need them.
2 turns.
Affirm.
If I can get it through the
yeah, and you've got some Sharpie marks there to kind of show you where the bracket should align, but it again is one of those multiple diameter bolts, so you got to get that wider shaft through multiple pieces of that bracket. And then 2 turns.
2 turns by hand.
Copy. 2 on M20. And Kayla, now we're going to drive M19. I've got PGT settings.
Ready?
Okay, you're going to do Bravo 7 clock 2 on the short PGT.
Bravo 7 clockwise 2 is set.
Okay, we're going to torque M19, expecting a minimum of 10 more additional turns.
I'd adjust my body position here once I see where the PGT is. And turn.
Good readback. Bravo 7 clock 2.
I'm watching this thread. And I'm experiencing a little bit of running torque, but it might be the angle I'm holding the PGT at. I'm going to double check that I'm right on here.
Okay, copy some running torque.
It was just close to the end there. And I believe I counted 8 turns there. I green light 25.4 on the torque. And actually the PGT is telling me it was 7 turns.
Okay, copy 7 on the PGT, green light 25.4. Okay, and now you are going to swap the 2-inch socket from the short PGT to the torque wrench, and we're going to final torque with the torque wrench again. All right, and I'm showing 11 turns total, so we may expect more turns on the torque wrench. But we're looking for, again, breaking it over twice. Okay, copy, and maybe 3.5 turns on the torque wrench.
Swap complete with a good pull test.
Okay, thank you for that. And with the torque wrench, clockwise 60 foot-pounds, we're going to final torque, give us the turns, and looking for that wrench to break over twice.
Just so the PGT is not flying around, I'm going to have an independent right now for the torque wrench, and I'm going to remove the adjustable between them.
Okay, copy. You've reattached the PGT, and you're going to disconnect the torque wrench and the PGT reds.
I'm working on this upper grounding dip pin while she's doing that. This is at an odd angle, so I'm still struggling to try to get into the grounding block. I know it's only getting harder once you grab the bolt.
Copy. Yeah, it looks like that cable's got a little memory making it hard to line up.
Yeah.
And you can go in from the other side, that other hole, as long as they both are in the grounding block. That's a good config.
Yeah, this one that's facing towards me, I'm saving for the mid-strap, because I think that's even harder to get around the corner with.
Okay, copy. Looks like that one you got a good start on it.
Going the wrong way on the torque wrench, not doing myself any favors there. And double check that it was going clockwise.
Okay, and about how many turns, Kayla?
Did 32 throws of the torque wrench, and it was about an eighth of a turn per throw.
Okay, so we copy about 4 turns counterclockwise, and now we've reset it to clockwise. So we're looking at maybe 7 or more turns. Hey, Kayla, Ike, back with you. Sorry about that, not giving you a heads up about the handover.
Still working the torque wrench. Two pops. That was 120 throws. And I think it was still about an eighth of a turn per throw.
Okay, so.
Swim counting.
Yeah, somebody down here is going to do that math, but copy 120 throws, about an eighth of a turn each one. We're going to talk that over. And you got 2 breakovers on the torque wrench? Okay. Take a breather, and when you're ready, we'll take those lower strut checks, the black line, the gap, and a wiggle test.
Line looks parallel and flush, no gap at the bearing. Wiggle test.
I just heard wiggle test. Kayla, confirm a good wiggle test?
Good wiggle test.
Copy, good wiggle test. That's a good M19. Nice work there. Take a breather, and you can leave the short PGT and the torque wrench on the right lower strut handrail. And when you're ready, verify that MLI covering the lower strut pad. Roger, I've got PGT settings for you when you're ready.
Got 501 clockwise 2, if that's still good.
That is a good readback. You can drive M20 to torque, looking for a minimum of 5 more turns.
The M20 to torque, looking for 5 turns.
Can I go to head up toward the side pad?
We'll take a glove, hat, and gauntlet check, and then you do have a go to translate to the mass canister right side pad install location.
Got a low torque light, 7.8 with 4 turns. You want me to hit it again? I think it's a better body position here.
4 additional for 6 total, and a low torque light. Yeah, again. Hit it again, please.
Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
And Kayla, for you, we recommend...
Glove, same as last report.
Okay, dry hat, good gloves.
Gauntlets down.
And good gauntlets. And we recommend you go outboard 1 handrail to 2123 and then transfer to the mass canister handrail. Go ahead, Roger.
A quarter turn, good green light, 11.8. Back line is maybe a half millimeter from being flush. And for total turns, it was probably closer to 2.5 when I did the initial hand start in retrospect versus 2. If that helps with you, anything.
Copy. Initial hand start was closer to 2.5. You got 4 additional, and then you got 1 more quarter turn. So I'm showing, again, somebody's going to do that funny math. It's 6.5 plus turns with a good green light, and the black line is a half a millimeter. Good M20, good M20. You can stow your PGT and release that right lower strut ret.
The pit pin is in.
We know you got the pit.
On the upper strut here. The ret is released.
Perfect. Good ret. Did you say the MLI is in work and the pit pin we heard you install? We'll take a glove, hap, and gauntlet check when you're done, and then we'll start on the right mid-strut.
Yeah, dry hat gauntlets are down, and no change on the gloves.
Copy. Good glove, hap, gauntlets. Okay, when the two of you are ready, Roger, you can grab the right mid-strut from your BRT. Release the pit pin from the locking position, and when Kayla's ready, you can extend that side pad toward her.
I'm ready.
All right, Kayla, and the same as the other side, you're going to engage the clevis on the inboard side. As toward the top of your head, you're going to have to go a little side to side, which is station up and down to get those teeth engaged, and then you'll pivot it toward your feet, station outboard to engage the soft dock. Very nice.
It is soft dock.
And when you're ready, you can either hand start or use the PGT, the long PGT, to put 2 turns on M9 through 12.
I'll use the PGT, and I'm ready for setting.
Alpha 2, clock 2.
Alpha 2, clockwise 2.
And 2 turns on M9 through 12.
On M10. I'm going to adjust my body position a little bit here.
Okay, copy that. And did you get 2 turns on one of the bolts?
10.
2 on 10.
Turns on 9.
2 turns on 9.
Turns on 12.
2 on 12.
Turns on 11.
Copy. 2 on 11. That's 2 on M9 through 12. Roger, over to you. We're going to install the mid-strut L7 to upper strut L7. Maneuver in the APFR as required, and I've got PGT settings for you when you're ready.
I'm looking at M24 volt. Is that going into L7?
That is it, M24, and you're going to drive M24 to torque with Bravo 1, clock 2.
I can hand start it if that works.
Over to you.
I'm going to hand start it just to keep it in as soon as I got it started.
Sounds good.
There's 2 turns hand started, and Bravo 1 clockwise 2.
Copy. 2 turns hand started, Bravo 1 clock 2. Good readback. You can drive M24 to torque.
Now 2 hours and 45 minutes into today's spacewalk, Rajachari is currently installing a mid-strut to the upper right strut, previously installed to the 3A mass canister.
Good catch. Looks like 4.5 turns. I had a low torque, so I can hit it again. Red light. Looks flush. Black line.
Copy. You can hit it again. 4.5 for a total of 6.5 with a low torque. Go to hit it again.
Good green light, maybe a quarter turn, 12.0. Like 0.4 turns is what the PGT says.
Good green light, and I heard you earlier say the black line is flush. All right, it's a good M24. You can stow your PGT. Say again, Kayla?
On the PGT.
I just said you broke up on your last call, so we might have missed something you said.
Okay, that's a good M24.
PGT, and I'm looking for a go to drive M9 through 12.
You can drive M9 through 12, the torque.
M9, 4 turns. Torque 3.7 with a green light.
Green light, 4 turns on M9. And Roger, if you haven't already, you can install the pit pin to the grounding block.
Pit pin's installed.
5 turns on M10, green light, 3.6 on the torque.
M10, 5 turns, green light.
And the MLI is installed as well, that I can reach. MLI over the mountain bracket side.
Green light, 3.7, 4 turns on M12.
4 turns, green light, M12. And stand by on the MLI there.
Getting a good spot for M11. About 4.5 turns on M11, 3.7 on the torque, green light.
Copy, M11, 4.5 turns, green light. We're 3.5 minutes to sunset. Okay, Kayla, once you put your PGT away, you can release EV2's ret from the right mid strut and then verify that MLI is covering the side pad clevis.
MLI is covering the side pad clevis, the pit pin's in place, and in work on Roger's ret.
Copy. All right, so next thing we're going to work on is the clamps and the MLI, and so the right mid-strut adjustment collar. All the struts have been good so far, and so Kayla, if your BRT to the mid-strut handrail, minimize normal and torsional loads into the mid-strut, counter-torque wrench loads, please. And so you can translate to the right mid-strut collar bolts.
Roger.
And then verify the middle locking pit pin can reach the receptacle, but do not install it yet.
It is tight, but it can get there, I think. And that is.
All right, thanks, Kayla. And so I've got PGT settings, and we're going to drive collar bolts M25 and 26. We're looking for Bravo 7, clock 2 with the long PGT.
Kayla Barron.
Bravo 7, clockwise 2 is what we're looking for.
Affirm. That's a good read back. And you're going to drive bolts M25 and M26 to torque.
NASA astronaut Kayla Barron currently being seen on screen with a PT designated EV1 with the red stripe. She has her pistol grip tool where she's driving 2 bolts on the mid-strut collar.
Get a little bit higher here.
And Kayla, just a reminder, we do have that shorter socket if that would help for reach as an option. Turns green light.
Now on M26. Alright, that was 4 turns on M26 with a green light, 25.4, but I'm still seeing
To ratchet clockwise, check the MTL to 30.5.
I'm in ratchet clockwise and MTL's in 30.5.
Okay, we're going to manually ratchet M25 and 26 to torque. We're looking for 2 pops on each one.
Figure out my best body position here. A little bit challenging.
It is, and you know, holding the very top over the display with one hand and the bottom underneath the battery is one great position, and you can also counter the torque doing that if you're able to reach it that way. We are 1:45 from a handover.
To get any leverage on this? Oh, there's one pop.
Indoors, yeah.
Copy. We heard one pop, and we just a reminder, we have that shorter socket if you think that'll help.
Pops.
2 good pops.
The right struts have been installed. The crew has begun torquing down the adjustment collar bolts, and the crew is currently 25 minutes ahead of the timeline.
Quite on the phone, and it came off there.
And Roger, Ike, did you call?
No, just talking to Kayla.
One pop.
Copy, 1 pop, and we're 10 seconds to a handover.
Two pops.
I'm done.
Copy, 2 pops, 25 to 26.
My next thing is
Allies and wire size.
yeah.
All right, Kayla, Ike, back with you. And did you get any additional turns on 25 and 26?
Hard to say, really. I was throwing the PGT, the butt of the PGT, maybe an eighth of a turn, probably 4 or 5 times.
Okay, so maybe a half a turn, somewhere between a quarter and a half a turn. And is that on each?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, we copy. Thank you. You can reset your PGT to motor. Verify MTL is still 30.5.
I actually still get it, so I'll reset it to motor next time I get it out. I go to install the pit pin.
Okay, and your last call was quite choppy. Yes, you can release the folded MLI and install the middle pit pin in the final location, routed under the same side of the MLI as the lanyard anchor. And Roger, now that the right collar bolts are driven to torque, you can close the mid-strut mounting bracket MLI.
We may have a problem with this pit pin. Yeah.
Pushing back.
And it should actuate pushing or pulling. Go ahead.
What's happened, Ike, is I think the washer and grounding washer has like pushed too far, like it's overextended, so I think that it should be above the ball bearing, like all of those pieces. It's below the ball bearing right now. Is that how it should be?
They're starting to move. Oops.
Oh, and it just came apart.
Yeah, we agree with your assessment that it should be above. Stand by.
The pit pin just came apart, Ike.
Yeah.
Got some of it, but not all of it.
The washer and the grounding, that piece is still there, but the end pieces, like the ball bearings, looks like they came off. Washer is free.
I don't know that. Sorry.
So we copy. Thanks for that description.
So let me tell you what I've got here. I lost the washer in the middle. I got the lanyard. That washer might have been the retaining washer at the end. The pieces I've got remaining, I've got the spring, kind of a thick metal washer, and then the lanyard back on above the pit pin. I think we lost the washer that was on the end. And that had like popped over the detent and was jammed. And when I was trying to push it back on, it came apart.
I think electrically you'll still be good when you install that, as long as it stays in.
I can get it there.
And Kayla confirmed that when you install the pit pin, the lanyard will still be connected, right? So I think we're missing a piece, but it should still function. Would you agree?
So I installed it just because that was the best way. Sorry, something in my throat. The best way to keep it from getting lost. And
copy, it's installed.
What I see is I have the receptacle, then the lanyard, then the washer, the thick washer, and the spring.
Copy, receptacle, lanyard. And do you think that it will stay in?
I do, yeah. I think, you guys got,
do you have my HECA view of it?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you guys can see it on my HECA. Yeah, I do think it'll stay in. I just need to be careful not to pull on the ring and pull it out.
Yep, Abram, don't pull on the ring. We can't see it in your HECA. It does look like it's installed, and we've got a couple questions just to see if it's going to serve its function. So we're talking it over. Give a second.
Okay.
Job keeping the parts that were on there.
I tried to catch that washer, but I think I had no chance.
All right, EV1, EV2, we're going to continue. The pin is installed. We'll leave it installed. That's a good config. And so you've released the folded MLI, installed the pin. You can now close the MLI around the collar bolts.
Can you reach that, Arthur?
Yep. Almost good. There we go. See if there's no more slack on that end. Go. All right. Over the cam on the side so you can pull it back your way if you need to.
Now 3 hours and 3 minutes into today's spacewalk, recapping some of the milestones for today. NASA astronauts Kayla Barron and Raja Chari switched to battery power at 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 a.m. Eastern Time. They got over into their work site on the starboard fore truss at the 3A power channel. So far, they have successfully installed the upper brackets and center pad to the mast canister, as well as installed the left and right struts. They are currently inserting clamps as well as covering brackets with the multi-layer insulation.
Confirm I'm going for a short wire tie.
I'll have to give you one of mine.
I think I have enough that I can do this side, Roger. I know you're right, you do have to give me one.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll be short on the other side when I'm doing the bag.
Are you with us, Ike?
Yeah, I'm with you. And I hear you guys talking about the wire ties, so you're going to install them on the telescoping end, one near the mid-strut collar and one near the clevis end.
Can you just confirm it's a short wire tie?
A short wire tie on both, affirm.
And I'm going to give her one off my BRT. I don't have the reach, kind of like we saw in the EVAT run, to be able to get to it. So I'll pass off one of my shorts to Kayla.
Copy that. EV2 passing off a short wire tie to EV1.
Okay, I've got one installed with 3 half twists. Get it a little closer to you, Raja, and then, okay, good. Let me grab it right.
Copy the collar side wire ties installed.
Right off.
Roger.
All right, Caleb, working on the second wire tie, and Raja, you can egress the APFR and retrieve the short PGT and the torque wrench from the right lower strut.
The ratchet. Okay.
Half twist on the second wire tie.
Copy, second wire tie installed. All right, so now we're going to work on the left mid-strut adjustment collar. And so you can translate to the left mid-strut adjustment collar bolts.